Hello everybody, Gaming is Art here with a top 7 games of all time. Now these are my top 7 games of all time. Originally I had a top 5, I had to bump it up to 7 because I had a hard time picking these 7 games. And pretty much these 7 games that I'm going to talk about, share a little bit of memories with you. These are the games that I could play for the rest of my days. So let's kick it off. Let's get this going. So number 7 is Kingdom Hearts. Now I don't have the original, sadly, but I do have Kingdom Hearts 1.5 on the PlayStation 3. And I remember when I was, so here's some of my memories of this game. I believe it was a present from my mother, and she liked it because it had Disney characters on it, and or my other brother might have told her about it, so she was actually excited to give me this as a gift. And even when I was younger too, I used to have The Lion King on Super Nintendo and Aladdin on Super Nintendo as well. And when I first heard about this game, I was excited for it too. The graphics still hold up to this day. The gameplay, the voice acting is great. It's not a generic, they got a generic Goofy or a generic Donald. So that's perfect. I mean, one of the best games. I still pop this in today to play it. I couldn't beat the extra dungeons I believe it had on here. So that is why this is number 7, and quite a good number 7. I'm sure if you guys have memories of this, let me know. Number 6. Sonic Adventure 2. So let me explain. When I had the Dreamcast, it was between me and my brother. We shared it. Now he was more of a sports fan. I was more of Sonic. Sonic Adventure 1 was awesome. I played that game a lot. But Sonic Adventure 2 I think did everything better with the gameplay, the graphics, and the Chow Garden as well. I have it on the Xbox 360. That's the footage that's playing. Again, when it came out on Xbox 360, I knew I was gonna buy it. I knew I was gonna get the Microsoft points and get the game. The game itself, the best part about it to me still is the Chow Garden. I don't know how many I've seen people to this day have guides on how to make the perfect Chow. And another thing aside from the Chow is the story. The story was real when I was younger, and Sonic was basically saying it was basically the ending sequence where they're basically all gathering together to basically save the Earth. You know, that couldn't happen with Mario Brothers. I mean, I just think that's huge, and they took a risk, and it's just a great game. Great game. Now we're on number 5. Tales of Symphonia. Again, it's funny because Tales of Symphonia and Kingdom Hearts share the same story as well. These two games. I got them because the PlayStation, that's the reason why I own a PlayStation 3. Is because of these two games. Otherwise, I would have never got the PlayStation 3. But back to Tales of Symphonia. This is the collection one that came out on PS3. A great price too. I think it was like 30 bucks for both games. But anyways, obviously it came out on the GameCube first, and I remember the story. I went into a GameStop, or it might have been Game Crazy, one of the game shops, and I remember saying to the guy, "Do you guys have any 4-player adventure games?" And he kind of said, I have this game. It came in the other day. I only have like 2 copies of it." Something along those lines. It's 4 players at once, and you guys are an RPG real-time battle system. And I looked at the case, and it was just wow. I didn't really care as long as it was 4 players for me and my buddies to play it. So turns out it was 4 players, and some sections weren't 4 players. That's a funny memory. So one of us would have to sit out and just kind of watch. But the gameplay is just really fun. The combos flow really well. Not compared to like You know, there's some other RPGs that are multiplayer, but this one just flows. When I say other ones, I mean other Tales games, that they do have the same idea, and I'm glad they kept that into the new generation, even to the PS4 versions of Tales of Zestiria. They still have the multiplayer function, which they could have easily threw that out the window and said, nah, we're not gonna do that no more. Like, who does local co-op anymore? So I still play the Tales game to this day. I have a few of them still in my collection of Vesperia, Exilia, but definitely Symphonia, best story. The graphics are great to this day again, and just the best memories with that one. So that's why that one is on the list. Number 4 is Gears of War for the Xbox 360. And I want to show this a little bit closer because this is a little bit dirty. It's a little bit dirty because I've had this game since 2006. It's really old. It's kind of dirty. It's still in there. I don't have the booklet or anything anymore. And Gears of War, I remember when we first got my memories of this game is I first got the Xbox 360, and the first game we got was Gears of War. And I remember my brothers had already outgrown the video games at this point, so I was on a mission to show them, look how much we've grown since, you know, Nintendo. Look at this opening sequence. It's just so freaking bad, dude. Like, you go into this game, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew the people at the store told me, this is the game you have to get with the Xbox 360. Gears of War. And like, well, me and my brother, my second brother, my middle brother, me and him played it co-op. So it was just, again, like, the co-op was great. It was fun story. But the multiplayer was where it's at. I guarantee you, if I go in right now and look for a game for multiplayer, and from a 2006 game, people are still playing it, even though they remastered this sucker on Xbox One. Like, that's how good it is. And I remember playing the multiplayer late nights, late rage. I used to get really competitive in that game. I love this game so much. Like, I own the remix edition, HD edition on Xbox One, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because Xbox 360, I got that game. Xbox One, I had the Xbox One Gears of War bundle. I got the Xbox One. So from Xbox 360 Gears of War to Xbox One Gears of War. Number 3. We're getting to the top 3. It's serious now. Number 3 is Mario 64. Super Mario 64. Oh man, I remember this game. I still play it randomly on the stream. That's how good this game is to me. After I play Mario Maker or whatnot, I'll pop in Mario 64 on the Virtual Console. My memories of this game are just like anybody else's, man. It's the first 3D Mario. You play it, you keep going, you're moving around in this 3D world. I'm glad they remade it on 3D on the Nintendo DS so more players can play it. I do remember specific things about some memories I want to share with you guys. I remember my brother used to play, and I would watch him play, but I wouldn't want to watch too much because I would want to figure out the stuff on my own, like where to find the stars and whatnot. And then my record would be next to his record. It's just so many great memories of the game. The gameplay, again, is very important to me because if I can still play it and it feels good to this day, that's just hands down. They got it right. So Mario 64, there's not enough good things to say about that game. But I want to show you some of this footage right here is of what I used to do for fun on that game. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. Not the Twin Snakes one on GameCube, because let me explain. The Twin Snakes one, now Metal Gear Solid, let me explain this first. Metal Gear Solid made me feel like a badass, pretty much. And it's funny, because I am referencing my brothers a lot, because my oldest brother used to play that game. And I remember I used to sit back and I would be like, I would cheat and watch him play and then do it on my own record. And I just felt like, again, I just felt like a badass. That's really the best way to explain this game. Again, the story, perfect. The gameplay, perfect. The stealth, awesome. I never thought I would play a stealth game. I didn't know what stealth meant until I played that game. Because, you know, usually you're jumping or shooting or whatnot. But those are some of my favorite memories of that game. And let me now back to the Twin Snakes. The Twin Snakes didn't have the graphical upgrade, but it didn't have the original music. So that was video game music is a big deal to me. So since they switched the music out, it's weird. I couldn't get into it as much, and I said to myself, you know, why am I not feeling this version as much as the original version? And yeah, it's the music, you know. That's happened to me in other games too, like Dragon Ball Z Budokai, when they re-released it on Xbox 360, and maybe some other games. I think Ninja Turtles on Xbox Live, things like that. But anyways, back to the game. I love the game. I unfortunately don't own a copy. I don't know if it's on the PS3 network. That would definitely be nice to check that out. But definitely sum it all up again. Just a badass game. And we have reached number 1, but before we go to number 1, I wanted to say some honorable mentions, and I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget any. So some honorable mentions are Smash 4, awesome game, love playing that on stream. Left 4 Dead 2, that game was just so hectic. It's so funny, 4 stages, but yeah, you can replay it all day and never get bored. Different modes and whatnot. Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy, man. Need I say more? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Funny story, that game got me into skateboarding. Kid you not. Like, I saw it. I mean, I can't do much now, but I can still ride. If anybody wants to see me ride, let me know in the comments. I'll make a video of me riding. Shenmue for Dreamcast, awesome game. Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. The Last of Us on PS3. Man, that game's the story, one of the best stories I've ever seen in a video game. Banjo-Kazooie, just to name a couple more. Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, and of course Pac-Man. Come on, Pac-Man. So let's jump into number 1. Number 1 of all time. I could play this game right now. I could stop making the video and go play it, and then come back and finish the video. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Oh man, this game, just thinking about it, is just the best game I've ever played, and I've been playing games for probably 20 years. 20 years. Now, when you say Zelda, I automatically think, I know there's been tons, from the Wii to the 3DS, the Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, the original, but the first one, I think of when anyone says Zelda, I just automatically think of Ocarina of Time on the 64. If the story on how we got this game is great, because it was we had it like to get we wanted the gold one. So my brother was at Walmart and he worked there, and he actually snuck us a copy. Well, from what he told us, it made it seem cooler, I guess. And he got us the gold cartridge, and he was making a big deal out of it, that there was like secret stuff on this one. You know, we just got the game, but I remember though. That's the thing. I remember those moments before I put in the game. And you know, you get to start off as a kid, and we're all like, well, I thought you were a grown-up in this one. What happens? It says you're... I just so many different things. The gameplay on point. Again, the graphics hold up fine to this day. If games didn't improve anymore on those graphics, I would have been okay with that. I would have been like, that's fine, as long as the gameplay's good. The side quests, the story just was awesome, which I played it again when I was older, and I was like, when I was younger, I didn't really fully understand. When I was older, I did understand it more. And the music, all the tunes, I want to learn how to play all those tunes still on the ocarina and on the guitar, because I love the music. The video game music is just a huge part to me. It's just great, man. But the Zelda 64 #1. Definitely would love to play it again. And those are my top 7, guys. So everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your stay on the video. Let me know if you have any of these match your top games of all time, and drop a line below. And thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.